Our first quantum processor based on this architecture is the Majorana 1.
Unfortunately, I didn't manage to make anything useful. But now, object is how computer. This core chip can.
Over the years, I ran into problems that I could not solve on the most powerful computers. But then over time, I realized, hey, I could solve that if I had a quantum computer. A laptop can solve a problem of 10 electrons. A supercomputer can solve a problem of 20 electrons. But no classical computer in the world can.
I've always been fascinated with puzzles and challenges and a mixture of mathematics and computers. And so when I learned that there was this type of computer that didn't exist yet, but could solve problems that we couldn't solve with our digital, all of the computers we had, I was just fascinated. I wanted to learn, well, how can I help that computer be built? The number 30, 40, 50 electrons, those numbers are seemingly small, but require up to lifetime in the universe timescales to solve with all of the world's computers operating together. That's until you have a scaled quantum computer that can solve these problems efficiently.
These calculations are so complicated that then if the classical computer was as big as this entire planet, it would still not be able to compute it, just to give you a construct of scale. And a quantum computer can do it, and can do it very, very well.
Been so slow to progress is that the industry has been struggling with problems making qubits reliable and resistant to noise. Progress has been incremental.
The challenge is qubits are actually pretty delicate in general, so you need underlying qubits that are really stable. But you don't want that to come at a cost, because you don't want your underlying qubits to be really big. That's one way to make it more stable, is have them really big. But if they're really big and you're still going to need many of them, then how are you going to fit them all into your system? You don't want to deal with something the size of a warehouse. Then the second thing is you don't want the qubits end up being slow, right? Because if the price you pay for getting something stable is you have to go really slowly, then a computation that might take you a month ends up taking you a decade, and then it's not useful. People in the early days
States that of only 100 years ago, mathematicians predicted one such new state of matter, allowing us to stand.
Majorana's theory shows
Some thinking, right? Some time to design a device, design a chip that can enable measurement of this. Majorana allows us to create.
Every single atom in this chip is placed purposefully.
Reasonable, efficient, amount of time. That's the beauty of that together means that
The way the system that we are constructing works is you have the quantum accelerator, you have a classical machine that works with it and controls it, and then you have the application that essentially goes between extremely accurate as an actual wet lab experiment. And
what makes me excited about quantum computing is that it will give us the tool to tackle.
we are showcasing results that are not just how the next stage of the quantum journey takes place.
we're at the cusp of a quantum age, and Majorana 1 is just the beginning.